Hey guys, what's up? It's another Monday. We've got national sports coming for you here today. That's what the video will surround. Surround, I guess. That's a weird way to say that, I think. But anyway, that's what we're going to talk about is national sports. If you don't know me, I am Taylor from K-Way. Work at a radio station in Waverly. It's called K-Way. You can hear me doing some sports. You can hear me, I've got a show on Saturday mornings called the Sports Spotlight. It goes from 8 to 9 in the morning. I also do news every single day right around noon. You can hear me do that. You can also hear me do some play-by-play from time to time, although been a little bit of a dead spot this part of the year before the spring sports get going and as basketball and the other winter sports wind down. So you can't really hear a ton of me, although you can find some of my games on our website if you want to listen to it. There are some very, very exciting games, not the least of which is a boys basketball game that I did between Wapsie Valley and Gladbrook Rhinebeck. Gladbrook Rhinebeck won their first game this morning at the state tournament, so I'll be paying attention to them. A very entertaining game, an overtime game that was. You can find that on our on the station website. You can listen to the whole game. It's a good one, I guarantee it. And with that, let's get into the topic here today. And what we're going to talk about is it's basketball related, and it's shooters, and specifically lefty shooters. Here's what I want you to do. Here's my question for you: who's the best left-handed shooter of all time? And I mean, because when you think of shooters, like the incredible shooters in the game of basketball, you think of Reggie Miller, you think of Ray Allen, you think of, I mean, shoot, you even throw on Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, anybody, although Magic Johnson wasn't a great shooter, but the other shooters, I mean, almost all shooters, I mean, even Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron, whoever you want to go to, they're all right-handed. So why is that? Why are they all right-handed? And who's the best left-handed shooter? Is the best left-handed shooter, is it Chris Mullin maybe? I mean, he's left-handed. He was a really good player. I mean, he's a really good player, but is Chris Mullin the best left-handed shooter? Who's the best left-handed shooter? And why is that? You know, you look at other sports, primarily like football, and Steve Young, one of the greatest left-handed quarterbacks, if not the greatest left-handed quarterback of all time, he often talked about how footballs were made for right-handed quarterbacks, and his receivers, Jerry Rice among them, would say, you know, the ball coming, you had to get used to the ball coming from the lefty, Steve Young, as opposed to any other righty, or you'd have to, I mean, when you went from Steve Young to a righty, you'd have to get used to, again, seeing the ball coming out of his hands from the right side and the spin on the ball from the right side. And so is it that the basketballs are made for righties, it's easier for righties to shoot it, or is it just simply, you know, a numbers thing where, you know, there are so many more righties than lefties, we just haven't necessarily seen the greatest left-handed shooter? But I mean, that's a tough argument, I think, to make. If that's the argument you're going to make, I think that's a tough one. Why don't we have, or first of all, who is the greatest left-handed shooter? I think that's, and I also should say, I have not done any research except for just thinking in my mind. So it's very, very, very possible that I have completely overlooked an incredible greatest shooter of all time, and he happens to be left-handed. So if I have done that, let me know who that is. And if not, and if you find that you can't seem to think of a really, really good left-handed shooter, tell me why you think that is. What's your theory? You can do so either at Twitter, where you can find me at Taylor from K-Way. You can find me here on YouTube at Taylor Knits, or on Facebook, Taylor Knits. Let me know what you think, and also, I mean, if you are left-handed, what sport did you want to play? Did you think there was one that maybe lent itself to you more? And if you were to ask me that question, I would lean towards baseball, because if you're left-handed, I mean, the old saying goes, if you're left-handed and have a pulse, you can pitch in the majors. Obviously, that's not quite true, but I would think it's easier for lefties to play in Major League Baseball than in any other sport. You think that's true? Tell me what you think. Again, I am Taylor from Kway, and until next time.